Okay guys, welcome back after that short advert break. Let us look at our next question. So here I'm saying, Tyler is planning an event to raise funds for needy learners. Part of her plan is to find a suitable venue for about 200 to 300 people. She obtains quotations from 3 different service providers. Each venue had a fixed rental cost as well as a variable cost per person. Then important here, Tyler sells the tickets for 150 Rand each. So 1A says complete the table below. So here we have number of tickets sold, which I labeled X, right? And I also have my income in Rand, which I labeled Y. So we are saying if Tyler sells 20 tickets, she'll have an income of 3,000 Rand. So how did I get to that 3,000? Remember, we are indicating here that she sold the ticket at 150 each. So basically, I took the 150 and I multiplied that by the 20 tickets. So if I do that, 150 multiplied by 20, can you see? I will get that answer of 3,000 Rand. So we have to complete the table. So it's always a good idea to try and find a pattern. So looking at this, 20, 40, 60, 80, can you see it's 20 increasing by 20 each time? Now, for the next part, I'll say 40 multiplied by 150. That will give me 6,000. Right, so for the next part, I'll say 60 multiplied by 150. So this will give me 9,000. So I hope it's clear already that there's a pattern here. So what happens each time? As we move on here, it increased by 20, and here it increased by 3,000. So therefore, I'm going to continue with this pattern to say this will then be 12,000. This will be 15,000, and you are welcome to check me based on this calculation here. This will be 18,000, 21,000, 24,000, 27,000, and this will take me to 30,000. And just to do a quick check, I'm saying it's 200 tickets at the cost of 150. Can you see? So that gives me 30,000. Once again, this is another way in which we can test you, okay, by giving you a table before we ask you to do a graph. Now let's look at the next part. It says, number B, draw the income graph from the sale of up to 200 tickets on the same grid as the total cost graph. Right, so here's the total cost graph for that. Remember I said she approached 3 different service providers. So there's the 3 different service providers, and this is right, the cost graph. What is your aim? Your job is to do the income graph. And here is the table. Remember, I labeled it X and I labeled it Y in the previous slide. And also, can you see? So meaning we've worked correctly. 3,600, 9,000, all the way up to 30,000. Are we clear? So now it's a matter of plotting these ordered number pairs. Right? So we are saying, first up, if Tyler sells 20 tickets, she'll have an income of 3,000 Rand. Right? So let's look. Here is our amount in Rand. Here is the number of persons or number of tickets. Right? So therefore, I'm going to go and I say, okay, if she sells 20 tickets, let's find, so it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Can you see the intervals are in tens? And here, when we work with the amounts, it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Can you see? It will be in thousands. So therefore, 20 tickets, 10, 20, will be 3,000 Rand. 1, 2, 3,000. So we agree. That's the first point I'm going to plot. Then for 40 tickets, income will be 6,000. 40 is here, just before 50. And then we are looking for 6,000. We agree? 6,000 will be there. Then for the selling of 60 tickets, income will be 9,000 Rand. So there is 60. And then we are looking for 9,000. We agree it will be here, just below 10,000. Then for 80 tickets, right, income will be 12,000 Rand. So let's find 80 tickets. So we agree it's 50, 60, 70, 80 is here. Then the income should be 12,000. So I go all the way up. 11,000, 12,000 is there. Right. Then for 100 tickets, here's 100 tickets. The income must be 15,000. So I go all the way up. There is 15,000 for 100 tickets. For 120 tickets, so let's find 120. There's 120 tickets. Income must be 18,000. So I go 15, 16, 17, 18,000. So there I plot that point. Then for 140 tickets, the income should be that's 21,000. So let's find 140. 140 is here, just before 150. And I will now look for 21,000. So I go all the way up. There's 20,000. There's our 21,000. Right? Then for 160 tickets, the income should be 24,000 Rand. I go to 150. There's 160. Now I'm going to move all the way up and I will look where it will meet with 24,000. We agree just before I hit the 25,000 spot. Then for 180 tickets, income should be 27,000. So let's find 180 tickets. So it's 150, 160, 170, 180 is here. I go up. Okay, let me just find the correct place. Sorry, that's 180. It's this one. No, 150, 60, 70, 80. There we go. Okay, all the way up. And it's always important to double check. And we said the income should be 27,000. So that's actually 27,000. So let's ignore this small little dot there. I erased it. And then lastly, for 200 tickets, which is here, right? The income should be 30,000. So I go 200 all the way up. And I look, there's 300,000. Not 300, sorry. That's 30,000 as we can see there. So now we plotted all the points. So what is the last part we need to do? Now we have to combine. Remember, it's an income that we are representing now. So why do I start at 0, the origin? Because if Tala is not going to sell any ticket, she won't have any money, right? There won't be any income. So therefore, 0 tickets sold, 0 income. Then now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to connect all these plots, right? I will indicate that with an arrow, meaning she can actually sell more tickets. We only indicated for up to 200, but remember, she can invite more guests to this, right? Then meaning the more tickets, the more the income will be. Lastly, important here, remember the 3 graphs that we see is representing the cost. Now, we're going to label this as our income graph. So this is our income in Rand from the sales of tickets. Guys, let us quickly take a short break. After the break, we'll wrap up the lesson. See you now.